reading chapter 19 tonight, just the one chapter tonight because we're nearly at the end of the book and I just don't want it to finish. So I'll read you chapter 19 tonight, then we will have chapter 20 tomorrow, and the night after that we will be reading chapter 21 and it will end the book. It's the Kids Life Christmas Countdown, which I'm loving reading to you guys, so just 3 more nights to go. Okay, you ready, Obi? Let's read chapter 19. Wow, you guys are amazing! Boomed a voice down the megaphone 15 minutes later. It was St. Christmas. The target of £20,000 on the Do It for Darcy page had been surpassed just moments before and was still increasing. I had planned on spending the night up here, joked St. Christmas, but thanks to you giving bunch, I will abseil down this impressive cathedral any moment now and reveal my identity to you. A massive cheer of excitement went up from the crowd. They were finally going to find out who this amazing man was who had done so many acts of kindness this past month. I looked up to the top of the cathedral, feeling both anxious and excited all at once. It was like the feeling you get when you're queuing up to go on a really fast roller coaster. You want the thrill of it, but at the same time your stomach feels like it's got hundreds of butterflies flapping around in it because you're so nervous. A countdown started amongst the crowd as St. Christmas stood up and leaned backwards, ready to make his descent down the cathedral wall. I felt my nails digging into the palms of my hands where they were clenched with nerves. I hope his rope is tight enough, said Mum, looking slightly anxious herself. Imagine if he ended up going splat, said Big Spud. That would be funny, giggled Little Spud. Oi, shut up, you two, I said, frowning at them. This isn't one of those stupid TV shows you watch. This is real life. He's a real person, you know. This, along with Mum's look of disapproval, stopped their childish giggles straight away. Their little faces gazed up at the cathedral with a new seriousness to them. Look, he's halfway down, shouted Pocket Rocket, pointing upwards. Sure enough, St. Christmas had already expertly abseiled down half of the 160-foot-tall building. He went out of sight momentarily and my heart skipped a beat. Where's he gone? I muttered to no one in particular. He needs to walk along that bit of the roof there to abseil down the last part of the wall, explained Dad matter-of-factly, like people did this kind of thing every day. I've just realised Obi's snoring a little bit to you. Can you stop snoring, please, mister? I'm trying to read a story. Boy. He gets so cosy down here listening to this. Where were we? Okay. St. Christmas was making his way down the last part of the cathedral wall. Any minute now he would be on the ground as the crowd would swarm around him, eager to get the first photos of the man himself. Come on, I said, grabbing Big Spud and Little Spud's hands. We need to get over there. Knowing that Mum and Dad would have no choice but to follow the trail of my younger brothers, I weaved them in and out of the crowds to get as close to the edge of the cathedral as possible. I had been watching the whole thing unravel so intently that I didn't notice how many hundreds of people had arrived to watch this daredevil fundraiser. Lines of people were now stretching across the entire perimeter of the cathedral. There must have been about 1,000 people there. I once again felt a surge of pride, knowing that the identity of the mystery man was about to be revealed. The man who by now must have raised well over the £100,000 that little Darcy's family needed for her treatment. And I knew him. My little brothers were practically flying next to me, their little feet barely skimming the ground as I sped them along. We reached the right side of the cathedral just as St. Christmas was descending the last few metres of the wall. Mum, Dad, Pocket Rocket and Tommy arrived seconds behind us. Ben, you shouldn't have charged off with your little brothers like that, reprimanded Mum in between puffs. Oh, good. She was too worn out from running to give a long lecture. Before she could catch her breath again, I ran over to St. Christmas and flung my arms around him just as his feet touched the ground. He removed his sunglasses to reveal his eyes, and I immediately knew that my suspicions were right. Thank goodness. It would have been rather embarrassing if this had actually turned out to be a stranger I was hugging. That would be a real cringe moment. I glanced over at Mum and Dad and my brothers and saw them looking confused at my uncharacteristic behaviour. Only Tommy had a knowing smile on his face, where he had obviously put two and two together and worked out what I was up to. St. Christmas then picked up the megaphone that he had tied around his waist while he was abseiling down. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for your amazing generous donations for little Darcy. Thanks to all of you, we now have double what she needs for treatment, which means that we can donate the rest to other sick children too. A huge cheer went up from the cathedral grounds. You could almost feel the happiness oozing out of everyone. Now, as promised, he said dramatically, I will reveal my true identity to you. I grinned over at Mum as St. Christmas whipped off his hat and fake beard to a massive round of applause. I saw her mouth drop open so wide her chin almost hit the ground. I knew I recognised that voice, she said in shock. Okay, so I think, given Ben and Mum's reaction, you guys have probably guessed by now who St. Christmas was. But just to be sure, tune in tomorrow night at 6 and I will read the next chapter to you, where you will definitely find out who St. Christmas is. And I can't wait to tell you. So I will see you then tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Take care. Bye. I cannot believe you were snoring through my story, Vista. Little snoring doggy. It's because it's so warm and cosy in here and all the Christmas lights and the Christmas decorations. We all want to snuggle up and have a little sleep then, don't we? Sleepy boy. We'll see you soon, guys.